What's up, guys? Scott Jansen here. And in today's video, let's do something a little bit different. Today, I'm going to reveal my 11 daily habits that help me go from absolute zero, a suffering business, to a millionaire coach in a very short amount of time. Now, you guys may have realized I've talked about this before. I'm not big on mindset. I'm not big on affirmations, self-hypnosis, binaural beats. I don't do any of those things. So what I wanted to do is show you the framework of how I think and the actual things I do, the habits, the actions I take every single day that turn me into a millionaire coach. Now, the great thing about this is you can be starting from absolute zero. You could be suffering from not sleeping well enough, to being anxious, to not having a business right, not even knowing your niche, or not even really understanding how to optimize your business. You don't have to worry about any of these things because these habits have become the backbone for my own success, but also the multiple six-figure students that we have. This has become a way that they operate as a business owner, as a person, but also their businesses as well. So I'm super pumped to be showing you this, guys. Let's dive into my 11 habits and show you how to go from zero to a millionaire coach in a very short amount of time. So daily habit number one is what I call becoming product obsessed. And this is what happened with me as well. So when I first started out in this industry, as far as creating like a coaching product or a program that was actually going to help therapists and coaches build their business, I went into this industry and my biggest competition was spending thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing. They had funnels, they had ads, they had Instagram, they had massive accounts on Instagram and massive accounts on YouTube and Facebook. And I realized very quickly that I couldn't compete with that. And plus, I really didn't want to go out and spend all that money on advertising if my product wasn't proven to actually get results yet. So what did I do? Because I noticed that while everybody was spending money on marketing, everybody was claiming to be like the #1 expert to help you grow your business, and you need funnels and you need ads. What I noticed when I did my research is looking at all these gurus' websites and their pages, no one was really talking about results. It was very, very hard to find testimonials, to find student results, to find people that have gone through their entire product and actually got a result. So what did I focus on? I focused on the product. I become obsessed with the product. And this is something that I've become obsessed with for years now. I'm always thinking of ways to optimize my product. So while everybody was spending all this massive amounts of money on funnels and technology and ads, and that's something I still don't do to this day. We don't spend any money on marketing. What sells my product and what became one of the biggest catalysts to my $1 million business was product focus, to create by far the best product in the industry, one that actually got results. Because I knew if I focus on a product that got results, I could use those testimonials. I could use those results as part of my marketing sequence. And that's something we still do to this day. I'm heavily focused on creating the right product. And when I thought about it, I actually did this as a stop smoking therapist as well. I went out of my way to keep optimizing the way that I did therapy and the way that I treated my clients to make sure I had by far the best stop smoking product or the best stop smoking therapy, because I knew that was the only thing that matters. Clients buy results. Whether you give it to them face to face, it's an online program, whether you're a coach, NLP, RTT, it really doesn't matter. Clients buy results. So one of my favorite top daily habits, my #1 habit, is to become product focused. So if you have a product or a service right now, my advice to you to take it from zero to hitting that $1 million in your business is become product obsessed. Don't become marketing obsessed yet. You don't have to be spending money on funnels, on ads, on Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads. What you want to focus on is creating by far the best product, because it's the product that once all the noise dies down, it's the product that remains. So I know right now, if there's a new coach or a new guru that comes out with all the hype and their business is going crazy, they're spending all this money on ads and funnels and technology, I know once that hype dies down, they've just created another subpar product that's going to be off the market within 6 months. You want to be creating a product that's going to last long term, something you can optimize, a product that actually gets results, because it's those results that your clients and your students are going to be paying for. And that's what's going to market your business. So go ahead, become obsessed with creating the right product with the right service for the right people, and you'll never have a problem getting clients or students into your product or your program or your service ever again. Daily habit #2, along with creating the product that actually gets results, becoming product obsessed, I also became student obsessed. I became obsessed with their results. So it's not only making sure that my students were happy, but my students were getting results. My job as a coach with a product or a service that actually is going to get some sort of results is to make sure the content and the product that I give my students and my clients actually works. And what I made sure I did was I would go out of my way to keep my students and all my clients happy. So I became student obsessed. I really made sure that the top of my list of to-do things per day was making sure that not only my students feel heard, but also making sure they felt supported. So in the last 12 months alone, get this guys, the last 12 months alone, I have done an additional 745 additional calls with my students. These are not strategy calls for people to sign up to the program. That's another 600 to 700 calls by itself, but extra support calls. Now, these extra support calls is something that we offer to all of our clients and all of our students who are in our program. They get lifetime access to this. Talk about value. Value is a big thing, because what I want to do with these calls is make sure that I answer any questions that they have. Now, I know it may seem like you have to do a lot of work to support your students and your clients this way. And sure, I have to sacrifice some time. I even have to sacrifice some additional strategy calls because my current students will always come first. But in the short term, if I sacrifice now, long term, my business is going to succeed. And this is another reason why I have $1 million business. I sacrifice my time now, the hours, the extra work that I can do, and making sure that my current students who have already paid, they could be in the program for years, I've already paid for my service and my product, making sure I answer all their questions. Because at the end of the day, if they have more results, I'll get more results in my business as well. If they make more money, have more happiness, create a business that's thriving, I know they're going to get in the hot seat with me and want to do a testimonial. They're going to send me constant screenshots of testimonials. Again, product obsessed. And this now becomes the catalyst for my marketing. So again, daily habit number 1 was make sure you become product obsessed. Daily habit number 2 is making sure that your clients and your students succeed. Go out of your way to give them everything they need and beyond to make sure they succeed. The more they succeed, you are going to succeed as well. And again, it comes back to all these gurus and coaches out there talking this big game about how their product is best and you need funnels and ads, but they suffer in comparison when it comes to actual results. You've got to realize that results matter, and becoming product obsessed and also student happiness success and their success for their business as well is going to be the catalyst to differentiate your business in the market, where you can turn what could be just a business starting off to that $1 million business. So make sure you apply this strategy as well. And let's move on to the next one. So daily habit number 3, let's make sure I get the 3 right. And you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. I run no ads, no funnels, no technology. The technology that I do use is just a booking system. We use a free version of that technology. I don't use squeeze pages. I don't use any of this fancy, shiny object thing that everybody says you need to be successful in business. So daily habit number 3 is stop looking for shiny objects, to keep the systems that you're running simple. You do not need to be running ads and Facebook ads and funnels and all of these sorts of things, because all that happens with too much technology and too many moving parts, it creates a business that goes out of control. The systems I have in my business are very, very minimal, and minimal is a big thing for my $1 million business as well. Keeping things simple. The simpler the systems, the simpler the moving parts in the business, the easier it is to optimize these things. But if I've got a funnel going to this squeeze page and this squeeze page going to this funnel, and then another funnel for this, and then another payment gateway over here, and another system over here, and another ebook that's running to this system, and 5 booking system, and 10 different ads on 10 different social media platforms, it gets basically out of control very, very quickly. So my biggest advice here is stop looking for shiny objects. I really had to ignore all the hype, all the things people were saying about funnels and squeeze pages and ads. And sure, some businesses require these things, but I'm basically here to show you that it's not necessary to really capitalize in your business. I had to ignore all of the shiny objects. I had to ignore all the gurus yelling and screaming at me saying you need these things, because when I boiled all these things down and looked at what the technology done, I realized I can do that with less moving parts, with no cost on my behalf or no business cost, and I can track and optimize the system better. I always remembered having a lot of moving parts in my business, that when one piece of the puzzle, one moving part broke down, I would have to hire another expert to come in and fix it. And that would take days, if not weeks. And I didn't like that. I like to be able to control all the systems in my business. So if something breaks down, I can fix it. I can optimize it. And like I said, when you've got too many moving parts, it's really hard to see what part is broken, what part needs to be optimized. And, basically if you touch one little thing in a very overhyped system, it can break down the entire thing. So stop looking for shiny objects. Keep your systems simple. If you are a therapist or a coach wanting to get face-to-face clients, all you need are things like a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a LinkedIn page, even an Instagram page, and all of the content and all the things you talk about lead everybody into one booking system, which could be like we use, which is Calendly. Do a strategy call, turn that stranger into a paid client, and then repeat the process. We don't need to have funnels. We don't need to have squeeze pages. We don't need to have websites and all these different things. All the things and all the product itself that you're going to be talking about, what you're going to be selling, you want to do those things on a strategy call because you can control these things. You can get better at doing a strategy call. You can get better at doing a sales call, but it's extremely hard to build better versions of the funnel, better versions of the technology, better versions of this or that. Have you noticed if you do have a lot of that technology, 1 week they've got the latest funnel that'll do this. And then 2 weeks later, there's another invisible funnel you've got to add to that. Then another optimization system, then another squeeze page and another website. And from what would be a very simple system now gets totally out of control, very, very messy, and it's extremely hard to optimize. So number 3, stop chasing shiny objects and keep things simple. Daily habit number 4, and this is one of my favorite ones and extremely simple. And you might be thinking, well, Scott, what the hell does this have to do with making money and being successful in business? Go to bed at nighttime at the same time, wake up at the same time every single day. At the end of the day, going to sleep and resting and recovering and waking up refreshed for the next day is going to be one of the best things you can do to optimize yourself to run your business every day. But inside, what's going to happen? You're going to teach your body to release the right hormones at the right time. You're going to wake up less lethargic, less overtired, and you're going to wake up refreshed. You're going to find that your mind is less foggy, but you're also teaching yourself a routine, which is what I love. I live on routine. I don't like getting up in the morning wondering, what the hell am I going to do today? What am I going to eat? What should I do? Should I do this? Where do I go here? I don't like that. So one of the simplest ways to teach yourself self-discipline, but it'll also have and be the catalyst for being more refreshed and getting more done in your day. Go to bed at nighttime, regardless of the day, and wake up at the same time every day. I guarantee if you do this for the next 7 to 14 days, you'll see a massive growth in your business because you've optimized yourself, which means that you can put more inputs into the business, get more done, overcome procrastination. Sleep is really the biggest catalyst when it comes to refreshing your body, but also keeping your mind sharp as well. So daily habit number 4, go to bed at nighttime, go to bed at nighttime at the same time. You're obviously going to go to sleep, but wake up at the same time every single day. Set yourself a routine. Do not budge past that routine. Teach your body some discipline, and I guarantee it'll show up as income in your business. Daily habit number 5, and one of the simplest things, schedule everything. So you should know, along with waking up at the same time each day, you might go to the gym at the same time each day. You want to be eating breakfast at the same time each day. You want to make sure you schedule all your daily activities. Now, the lingo we use is client getting activities or CGAs, the things that you're going to do each day to get paid clients into your coaching, your therapy business, from social media, strategy calls, organic outreach, talking to your VAs, whatever it is. You want to schedule time to do everything. I can remember the days where I'd get really, really excited in the morning. I'd sit there in front of my computer and go, what do I do? Where do I start? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And after 2 to 3 hours of thinking, what's the best use of my time? I'm now 2 to 3 hours behind. So I make sure I know what I'm doing at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. I know when all my strategy calls are. I know when all my support calls are with my students. I know the times and the days where I'm optimizing my product, where I'm becoming product focused, where I'm changing parts of my product, where I'm adding more support. I'm in my Facebook group talking to my students. All of this stuff is scheduled out. So I know what I'm doing each and every day. And at the end of the day, this stops procrastination. So if you're finding you procrastinate, set yourself a schedule and stick to that schedule. Put your sleep in. Put what time you go to the gym in. Put what time you're going to eat breakfast or lunch or dinner. Put what time you're going to be doing each client getting activity. Put what time you're going to finish for the day and close your laptop for the day. Put what time you're going to go to sleep at nighttime. Schedule all of these things. Now, again, the schedule itself, it's what's going to make you money. At the end of the day, if you know what you're doing each day, you have a proven system, you know how to get clients, you just want to be repeating the same things. And I'll get to another part of these habits called asymmetry, which I think you guys have heard me talk about before. But at the end of the day, knowing what your schedule is going to be and following that schedule to a T is going to make sure you optimize your time best for your business and give you the biggest growth in your business. It all comes down to a schedule, guys. Daily habit number 6, guys, is start saying no to the wrong clients and the wrong students for your program. So this was a big one for me as well. When I first became a hypnotherapist, I was like you guys, I want to help everybody. I don't care if they're good, they're bad, intermediate. I don't care who these people are. I just want to help people quit smoking. But what I realized after many times of bringing in the wrong clients into my business, you know, the ones that don't pay on time, have excuses, don't follow the steps, don't give you testimonials, give you bad reviews, even though you did everything you could for them. You've all had those clients before. You want to start saying no to these people. Sure, at the start, it might hurt you a little bit and you might feel a little bit awkward to say no to people, but you want to start thinking long-term in your business. Will this person affect the ability for me to work in my company or in my business long-term? So if your clients are showing up late, they're the wrong clients. If they're not paying on time, they're the wrong clients. If they're not giving you testimonials, they're the wrong clients. If they're not following your steps and not saying good things about your business, even though you've given them everything that you can, they are the wrong clients and they will harm your business long-term. The day I made the decision to start saying no to people was when clients were showing up to my office and I was thinking, oh no, they showed up. Damn it. Sure, I got paid $1,500, but I didn't enjoy working with them. And I would take that emotion into the session, which I can guarantee affected the session, but I always felt bad for the rest of the day. And I didn't look forward to working with these people. I wanted to make sure that the clients coming to see me, I was more excited about working with them because they were just generally the right people and the nicest people I could work with. It's the same thing with my program. Sure, I might do 5 to 7, even 800 strategy calls per year, but it doesn't mean I say yes to everybody. That's the reason for doing a strategy call. Just because I have a product and a service that I'm extremely confident is actually going to help people, it doesn't mean that everybody I speak to I allow in my program. There's been several circumstances at the end of the strategy call where someone said, okay, Scott, I want to do the program. I will tell them, based on what we've talked about today, you're not the right fit. I'm not the right fit for you. You're not going to be the right fit for this program. I highly suggest finding somebody else. And it seems a little bit awkward to have this conversation. It might come across as a little bit mean, but I really think these people appreciate it. I don't want people in my program that I know are not going to follow the steps, that I know are really going to struggle. But I also have to think about the community of therapists and coaches that I have in my Facebook group. I don't want to infect them with someone who is not the right fit. I want all my students and my clients to get along. I'm building a thriving community of people who are all there to succeed. All it takes is, for lack of better words, one bad apple to ruin all those things. So start saying no to the wrong clients and the bad students. Think of your business long-term. Sure, you're saying no to money now, but long-term, it'll have better dividends on yourself, your likelihood to continue to enjoy yourself as a therapist or a coach, but also if they're interacting with your other students or your other clients, you don't want their bad mood or their bad attitude to dampen the success of everybody else as well. Daily habit number 7, and again, it's more about a business framework, is to live minimally, guys. To run a business that's minimal. So what do I mean by minimal? So when it comes to understanding the background of your business and what it costs to run your business, although I have $1 million business, it doesn't cost me a lot to run. My biggest expenditure is basically paying for an accountant because we don't use the funnels. We don't use the technology. We don't have business expenses aside from tax and GST and things like that. That's part of business. But having a minimal running business allowed me to also implement that into my life as well. To be someone who can just live within their means. I don't go out of my way to spend a lot of money on junk and shiny objects and things like that. In the past, I made that mistake. So I used to spend all my money on multiple watches, multiple cars, big apartments and holidays and food and all this sort of stuff. But all I realized was not only did this detract me from what I'm supposed to be doing, which was having a thriving business and helping my clients and my students, but it distracted me from the things that really matter. So when it came to paying my tax, my GST, running the business, I had no money saved. And at the end of the day, I really believe as coaches and therapists running a business, it's not how much money you have, it's how much money you can keep. So trying to add some sort of minimalistic view in your business, keeping your business costs down. If you don't need to have something in your business, get rid of it. If it's costing you money, but there's no ROI on the return of spending that money, as far as like funnel, technology, ads, or something like that, get rid of it. But do the same thing in your life as well. Live minimally. Start thinking about what's going to happen 20 years from now when I'm no longer a coach. Am I starting to save money for my future? Do I understand my tax and my GST, which is a massive thing that I recommend all coaches and therapists go speak to an expert about, to understand your tax and your GST, your retirement. So here in Australia, we have something called superannuation. Over in the States, I believe it's your 401k or something like this, and across it's different across the countries and stuff like that. But you want to start to think long-term. I'm always thinking long-term. So I'm preparing myself now. I'm 37 now. I'm preparing myself for retirement. I'm making sure that once I'm, done with the business and the business can basically run itself, or I sell it to somebody else, whatever happens in the future, which I couldn't see me doing anyway. I'm hoping I'm still doing these videos and working with my students, even when I'm 75, that I'm prepared for my future. I'm starting to think about retirement. I'm starting to optimize my savings. I'm going out of my way to sacrifice a bit of enjoyment now, maybe. I live comfortable enough, as you guys can see. I live comfortable enough, but not outside of my means. I don't go out of my way to show off and spend money and do all those sorts of things, because I'm preparing for my retirement. So you want to make sure, guys, daily habit number 7, you understand what's going to happen long term. Are you going to be a coach or a therapist for the rest of your life? Do you want to do this forever? Are you starting to save? Are you starting to optimize your superannuation or your 401k? You're starting to set yourself up for retirement. Start to think about that now, guys. Okay. And that's another reason why. And this could be like a millionaire mindset hack if you like. Start thinking long-term in everything that you do. So daily habit number 8, I should have done the 8 thing there. Daily habit number 8 is what I call marketing asymmetry. So I'm going to give you the timeline of what will happen with your marketing. So when you first come out as a therapist or a coach, you're going to find that it's almost like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You want to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all of these sorts of things. But you don't want to remain in these places where you're doing everything on every social media platform. You want to be looking for something called marketing asymmetry. And I've talked about this before. Let me give you the overview. Marketing asymmetry basically means that if I push one button, or I do one post, or I use one social media platform, what will give me my biggest yield for that pushing of the button? So for example, let's say I have a Facebook page and a YouTube channel. Every 30 days, what I like to do is I like to go back through all my social media, and I go back through all my strategy calls, and I'm looking for one question that I have on my survey, which is, where did you find out about Scott? So let's say, for example, I book 100 calls in a month, okay? I'm gonna go to that question and I'm gonna look for, where did everybody find me? And what I found was, let's say, for example, last month alone was about 60 to 70% of the people that joined my program, which are clients and students, found me on YouTube. They didn't find me on LinkedIn. There wasn't a lot of people on Facebook. Instagram was starting to pick up, but YouTube was definitely my asymmetry, which means that all the content like you guys are seeing now from YouTube is turning into paid clients. So this made me realize, and we've been doing this for a long time now, that there's no point me being everywhere at once, because that's not where my clients and my students are. If I can find all my clients and students on YouTube, what if I take the time away from Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, put more of my time onto YouTube? I'm going to yield a bigger result. So asymmetry means basically at the end of the day, doing less work, but making more money. Where right at the start, or for most therapists and coaches, what they'll do is they'll push 1 million buttons to get one client. What we want to do is push one button and get multiple clients, okay? Asymmetry means doing less work, making more money. So you want to find your asymmetry in your marketing. And I like to do this every day, if not every 30 days. I like to backtrack over my last month, and I'm always looking for asymmetry. If I can find that asymmetry, it means I can take time away from marketing that's not working and put it into the place where it is working, which means if I push more of the buttons in the right place, I'm going to get more of the right clients every single time. Hence, I'm going to make more money in my business. So you probably notice we don't spend a lot of time on every social media platform. I don't have big followers and big accounts because we do not need them. I just know where my students are, what to say to them, what type of marketing to do that's going to turn them into a paid client. Everything else I can just ignore. And this really comes back to the daily habit of ignoring shiny objects, ignoring what everybody else says you should do, and find what works for your business, knowing where your clients are, what to say to them, and using asymmetry in your marketing, tracking where your clients are coming from so you can spend more time in the right places and less time in all the wrong places. So daily habit number 9 is what I call an evergreen business. Now, you might have heard evergreen when people talk about webinars and things like this, but what do I mean by an evergreen business? What I basically mean is you want to have your business running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not going to talk about webinars today because we've done that on other videos. What I want to talk about is what I call long-term and short-term, long-term marketing and short-term marketing. So an example of this is if you're a therapist or a coach and you're only using Facebook, we know that if we just use Facebook and do, let's say, a Facebook Live, and you may not even know this, that Facebook will actually archive your content after about 5 to 7 days. So if you do one Facebook Live, it's only really live on Facebook for about 5 to 7 days, which means Facebook may only share it for 5 to 7 days and it will archive it, meaning that people won't be able to find it unless they scroll through your page. But Facebook will stop sharing it organically. So that's a short-term strategy. It's why we say on Facebook, you've got to be updating the content every 2 to 3 hours to avoid your content being archived. So that's a short-term strategy. A long-term strategy is something like YouTube. Once you create a YouTube video, you optimize it right, you have the right tags, the right title, the right description, the right thumbnail, all the things you should be doing for YouTube. It means that if you get a video that gets a lot of views, YouTube will keep sharing it to the right audience over and over and over and over and over and over again. And as long as YouTube stays alive, so to speak, it will keep showing that video. So what it basically means is you want to have a mixture of short-term and also long-term. You want to make sure that your business never goes offline. If you're running your entire business off Facebook and you're doing posts and stuff like that, it means that when you go to bed at night time, let's say you do 12 hours in your business is basically offline for 12 hours. But if you've got YouTube happening behind the scenes, it means people can find your content on the other side of the world while you're asleep 24 hours a day, 7 days of the week, if they're putting in the right keywords into YouTube, obviously. So you want to make sure you've got a mixture of long-term strategies and also short-term strategies. You may as well do both and combine them together to get and to yield the best result. But at the end of the day, knowing that your business is running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even if you're not in front of it. I know, let's say on my birthday, I might take a day off. I know my YouTube videos are still going to be booking me in strategy calls. I may be off Facebook for the day, which means Facebook isn't going to send me really any strategy calls, but YouTube will keep on running. So my point here is start a YouTube channel, guys. Okay. Make sure you get your videos and your content on YouTube and make sure you're creating the right content that can be found 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you do have a day off or you sleep at nighttime, which you will, you know that your content can be seen by the right people and be constantly booking in strategy calls for you or even paying for your service. Someone might watch a YouTube video, click on a link in the description and join your program. So now you're waking up to payments from people you don't even know. This is what I mean about having an evergreen business. Daily habit number 10, and we've talked about this before, but let's dive into content again. I'm going to make the content strategy really, really simple. Another reason why I have $1 million business all comes down to my content. So on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my Instagram, what I'm avoiding is this. Let's talk about what not to do. I'm going to be really straightforward here. Selfies, quotes, things that are about you. And as a therapist or a coach, talking about therapy and coaching. Now, I'm not going to dive too into that, the psychology behind that. I'll leave a video below which explains it into massive details why you actually want to avoid these things because they will be harming your business rather than generating clients for you. The content you do want to be creating, we only do 2 things, guys. Let me keep it really, really simple. Number 1 is I'm showing testimonials. I'm showing proof that I know what I'm doing and the product and the service I have. Remember, daily habit number 1, becoming product obsessed, creating testimonials and success for my students. I'm showcasing those testimonials. I go out of my way to ask my students and my clients to give me testimonials and wins, so to speak, as they get them. And this becomes my number 1 marketing tool. If you go across to any of my social media, probably 80% of the stuff we do is just all testimonials, which is great. Testimonials will turn into more clients, more success, more testimonials. It's a reflexive cycle. That's that evergreen cycle again. Number 2, when it comes to content, if you don't have testimonials yet, number 1 way that you will get more clients into your business, which will then turn into testimonials, guys, answer your clients' most common questions. You want to be allowing your content on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn to be breaking down your clients' objections. Regardless of the niche, This is the only thing that clients are thinking about, whether they buy your service or not, which is, will this work for me? And your content should prove that it will work for them. It should break down their objections as to why they should buy your product. But if all your content is selfies or about you, these things are not going to break down objections. So if by some circumstance a client does get on a strategy call with you, you're going to have to spend the entire strategy call answering these questions over and over and over and over again. You want to allow your content to answer objections constantly. The way you answer objections is to answer your clients' most common questions. If you're in the stop smoking niche, the weight loss niche, the anxiety niche, what are the common questions that your clients have? Create content that answers that question. And this comes back to what we just talked about before, the evergreen business. What if your videos and your content were answering objections 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Wouldn't you think the quality of strategy calls would increase? Absolutely. Would your close rate increase? Absolutely. Would you have to say no to the wrong clients and the wrong students more often? Absolutely not, because you'll be getting the right people at the right time in the right place and into your program and your service. Hence, you'll make more money. You'll have more satisfied customers and clients, more testimonials. You see how this stuff all works together, guys? And again, this is one of my biggest daily habits. I'm always thinking about client questions, niched questions. And if you go across to any of my social media, even something like this, I'm answering questions. I'm giving you guys an insight and breaking down objections. So if you join my program, you buy my product or my service, I don't have to answer these questions on the call with you, because my content has already done this, and it can be done over and over again, even while I'm sleeping. The last daily habit I have for you guys, and this is something that I've become obsessed with as well, and I'm thinking about this all the time, probably almost to the point of being too much, but I think it's important, is to always be looking at the systems you run, the business, your habits, and trying to figure out better ways with less moving parts to get more done. I'm not only always thinking about my students and making sure that they're having the most success that they can have. I'm always thinking about better ways to update my product, make things better, move things around, make more things more student and client friendly. But I'm also thinking about my systems. Could my strategy call system be improved? Could the survey that I have at the start of my strategy calls, could that be improved? Could the improvement of my content increase? I'm always thinking about how can I optimize my systems. What I found, and I've spoken to business owners for a long time now, even ones outside of my program that become paying clients for me, is the systems they've been running for years and years and years and years. And while they still might be yielding some sort of results, they've neglected the system and things have broken down. Things have gotten old, things have gotten outdated. So you want to make sure you're optimizing your system. What can you do better? What can you improve in the system itself to make it run more healthy, more easily, and yield you better results? At the end of the day, less moving parts in a very healthy business is always going to make you more money. But think about yourself. You are a part of the business. Can you optimize yourself better? Better sleep, better diet, better exercising, less stress, less caffeine, eating healthier foods. These would all be better for you and your system, which is going to have a dramatic impact into the business. So always thinking about how can I optimize myself and my business to yield bigger results, guys. All right, so there we have it. There are my 11 daily habits. I guess we'll call them daily. They could even be monthly, yearly business habits in general that help me go from absolute zero to $1 million business in a short amount of time. And I highly recommend that you use these frameworks in the way that I think and the things I've showed you in this video today to drastically improve yourself, but also your business as well. But that's all from me for today. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe so you can check out our videos that come every couple of days or every other day. That's all from me for today, guys. Enjoy your new daily habits. Bye for now.